Do you struggle with too many tasks on your to-do list? Do you know exactly what you want to get done, but then when you're faced with a block of time, you don't know what to do first or how to prioritize? Do you just lack the focus and the motivation and all of the things that you need to get everything done? If any of that resonates, stay tuned because this video is for you. Today, I'm going to teach you how to time block your calendar. I'm going to include some free templates for you, and I'm going to give you the hint and the special productivity hack that people aren't talking about yet. So make sure you stay tuned to know how we do this quickly and efficiently. Today, we are talking about time blocking. We want to discover what is time blocking, how do we do it, why would you want to do it, who does it benefit, and we're going to dive into all of that right now. But first, just in case you're new to my channel, my name is Cate. I am a registered psychotherapist and ADHD coach. I'm from Toronto, but I practice virtually, so if you are in need, feel free to drop me a line and let's schedule a consultation call and see if I can help. Now on to the time blocking. So what is time blocking? Time blocking is a time management technique where you're going to schedule every single part of your day. You're going to divide it into smaller bricks of time, and each time block is dedicated to either one single task or a group of tasks that fit together. And it's going to allow you to reclaim your time, feel like you're better organized going into your day, and feel like you're able to manage all of the tasks that you need to do in a day or in a week. So why would you want to put effort into time blocking your calendar? Well, because time blocking ensures that you're achieving everything that you want to get done in a day or in a week, while also scheduling in time for rest, for self-care, for hobbies. For so many people, including people who live with ADHD, like me, it can be really difficult and a significant challenge to manage our time and to feel like we're getting things done. This can lead to things like anxiety, stress, burnout, lack of motivation, even depression, if you're really not achieving everything that you want to do. And time blocking is one of those strategies that we can use to help manage that. It helps us create healthy boundaries with time. It promotes better mental health, better organization. It allows you to prioritize. It allows you to increase your focus and productivity, and so many other benefits. So who are the type of people that can benefit from time blocking? If you are a multitasker, if you need help focusing or reducing distractions, if you have ADHD and you need help with those tasks or managing distractions or things like that. If you have a list of goals that you want to achieve, but you can't seem to find the time to do it. If you have the time to do it, but you can't seem to focus your attention on what to do first. If you are a student and you need to focus your study time and you need to make sure that you're dedicating enough time to each of your subjects and not just focusing on the one subject that you like the best. If you are a remote worker and you used to have a lot of structure in your day-to-day when you were in office, but now you are the one who has to manage all of that free time for yourself. If you are a parent who has to juggle dropping off kids at school and their various activities, you need to manage the household, but you also need to set aside time for personal time. All of you can benefit from time blocking and so many others. If you are not on this list, but you do benefit from time blocking, let me know what you do and how you use time blocking in your specific circumstances. I'd love to hear from you. So now that we know what time blocking is, we have to figure out how to do it. I'm here to explain this all to you, so buckle up. The first thing that you're going to want to decide is whether you want a daily, a weekly, or a monthly schedule. For myself, I need a 5-day weekly schedule, so this is what I'm going to use in the example, but I've included some Excel templates linked down below, and you can choose whatever is most sufficient to you. The process remains the same. If you prefer to have your time block calendar in a digital format, you can use different apps. There's a few out there. I know of Todoist, Structured, Any.do. There's a few different ones. Just browse your app store of choice to find one that works for you. You can also use work management systems like Notion or Asana to create a time block calendar, or you can even use these templates that I'm providing, and instead of printing it out or having it on paper, you can have it just on your screen and reference it as you would. So the first thing that we're gonna do is just organize our brains a little bit. We want to figure out exactly what we need in each of these time blocks so that we are making sure that we get all of the tasks that we need done. So we're gonna make a list. This is a to-do list or a task list, or it's just all of the things that you want to make sure you are getting done and you are scheduling into your days. So now I am just starting out by writing all of the things that I need to remember or get done in my day. So I like to wake up at 7:15. And then one of the perks of working from home and having your own business is I like to chill for 2 hours. That's just me in bed with a cup of coffee. Maybe I'm browsing my social media. Maybe I'm reading some newsletters that I subscribe to. Just whatever I want to do for the first 2 hours of the day really works for me and sets my day up well. The next thing that I know is my big priority is I see clients from 12 noon until 7:30. Now I'm going to make a list of what I would like to get done in an ideal week so that I feel like I've accomplished something. I've accomplished my goals. I've gotten to do all of the things that I really want to do. Okay, so now I've got my list, and it's a pretty ambitious list. I don't know if I'm gonna find all the time in the hours that I want to allot to make this happen, but I do have a little bit of a hack, which I will sort of explain to you after. So what you would do typically is work this list based on prioritization. What is most important? What do you need to get done? And what's the second most important? And what's the third most important? And you would structure things into your schedule that way. What I'm going to show you now is my little hack, because figuring out how to slot all of these things into your day can be a challenge in and of itself, especially if you do live with ADHD and it's hard for you to sort of conceptualize and visualize these things. So the hack is we're going to take this to ChatGPT and we're going to allow AI to solve our issue for us. Okay, so now we've got a new ChatGPT window up. This is just the free version of ChatGPT, and it will do what you need it to do in this context. So what we're going to write is, hey ChatGPT, I am having a difficult time spacing out my projects. Can you create a schedule for me? And let's say it goes from 7:15 when I wake up to 7:30 when I stop seeing clients. So create a schedule for me from 7:15 a.m. to 7:30 p.m. Monday to Friday. That includes time for the following. And now I'm just going to take the list, this list here, exactly as it is. So I'm gonna write wake up 7:15. I'm gonna write chill until 9:15, and so on and so forth. And let's see what happens next. Okay, so here is our prompt. It includes everything on the list that we created. And now we're just gonna hit enter and see what happens. So now when I look at the list that ChatGPT generated for me, I see that I have workouts, 20 minutes, 3 times a week. I have business administration happening on Tuesdays for 2 hours. I have continuing education for 1 hour blocks on Monday and Wednesday. I have my side hustle for 1 hour blocks on 4 days of the week, which isn't quite what I asked for. I asked for 6 hours, it gave me 4. And then I have my hobby scheduled for 3 days a week in 1 hour blocks, which gives me the 3 hours. So now our next step is to plot this out on our template and see if it's gonna work. Let's grab some colored pens and see what we can do. So I've grabbed my colors and I was about to start making my list and putting it into my app when I realized that it scheduled my time on Wednesday, for instance, as chill until 9:15, then from 9:15 to 10:15 work on my side hustle, then from 10:15 to 10:35 work out, then from 10:35 to 11:35 continuing education. That doesn't work for me. I want my workout to be the first thing that I do, and I want it to be followed up by a shower because I don't want to sit in my workout clothes and work on the computer or something like that. So it does ask you at the bottom, do you need to adjust anything? So I'm going to ask it to tweak it so that it is on workout days, workout is the first thing and it's followed by a shower, and let's see how that changes things. So I've just typed in, on the days where I work out, can you make that the first task of the day and follow it with a 20-minute shower? Let's see what it does. Oh, so it doesn't understand my first thing of the day because it overwrote my chill time. So now I'm gonna tweak it again and say the first task after chilling at 9 until 9:15. So this is looking a lot better. So for instance, on Monday we have 7:15 to 9:15 chill, 9:15 to 9:35 workout, 9:35 to 9:55 shower, 9:55 to 10:55 side hustle, 10:55 to 11:55 continuing education, and then 12 to 7:30 is my client sessions. I haven't gone through and done the math quite yet to see if everything is all worked in here, but let's scroll down and see if anything looks odd to me. Okay, so now I've just asked it to give me a breakdown of how all my time is allocated. And so it gives me, for instance, I have my side hustle for 4 hours. I asked for 6, but I can squeeze in that time in other places in my day. Continuing education, 2 hours. Business administration, 2 hours. So those are exactly what I asked it for. Hobby, it has 2 hours and 45 minutes. I asked for 3 hours. That's pretty close. I can find 15 minutes somewhere else. And then it has my client sessions are 37.5 hours a week. That's fairly accurate for a 9 to 5 kind of work day. That's not how many hours I do in a week. So that's where I'm gonna find my extra time for some of these other tasks. And then it also gives me 50 minutes of free time. It included my chill time and workout and showers, but those aren't important to what we're doing because they are allocated, and I'm gonna shower more times than 1 hour per week because I will shower every single day. But now I feel pretty satisfied with how this schedule looks on screen, and we're ready to transpose it onto paper. Okay, so now we have our ChatGPT blocks of time, and we've got a bunch of different colors. I recommend using colors to distinguish each set of activities. So each set of activities is going to have a different color. For instance, chill time will maybe be blue, workout will be green, and so on and so forth. That's going to allow me to easily distinguish different elements in my day and see where I have gaps of time available and just fill it in a very visually oriented way. Now got our beautifully time-blocked calendar with its color coding, and everything is all organized. Now, one of my biggest problems personally is that the time from 12 to 7:30 is reserved for clients, but I'm not seeing clients in all of that time. I have personal boundaries that I have for just my own maintenance of my mental health and making sure that I don't burn out. And so I will only see 3 clients in a row max before I take a break. And I will only see 5 clients in one day, barring any, extenuating circumstances. Like if someone really needs to get in to see me and I have the slot available, I will usually make an exception, but that is the exception and not the rule. So that gives me at least 2 hours of free time in that time block, if not more. Usually I don't have 5 sessions a day because I just don't like to be that busy. One of my biggest problems was finding what to do in that time, because it didn't always feel natural to go from a client session and then try to figure out something else to do. So my strategy for that is, I like to get a walk in during the day because it helps me clear my head. So at least 1 hour is set aside for a walk every single day. And then if there's extra time in that day, what I'm gonna do is work on something that I've been working on earlier in that day, whatever the priority happens to be. So if I've been doing, for instance, continuing education, and I'm at a really intriguing part of whatever I'm studying, I'm gonna hop back into my studies in the middle of my day. If I've been working on business admin and I got almost everything done, but I didn't get to schedule my social media post for the week, which by the way, I never do. And I really am hoping to build that habit with this time blocked calendar. Maybe I'm gonna use an hour to schedule all the posts that I've just made. So there is some flexibility to my version of time blocking. I don't like to schedule minute by minute, hour by hour. And in fact, even when I was making this particular schedule, it was telling me that my side hustle starts at 9:55 and it goes until 10:55. I'm not a 55 kind of person. I will probably tweak things so that they land on one of the quarter hour marks or the hour mark or something like that, because it's really hard to orient to a 55 time for me. Maybe it's an ADHD thing, maybe it's a math thing, I don't know. The other thing that is sort of missing is I blocked off time for showers and getting ready on the workout days, but I didn't do that on the Tuesday and Thursday when I'm not working out. So that will probably get incorporated into my chill time. So I am leaving things a little bit more flexible than you would in a traditionally strictly time blocked calendar, but that's for my preference. And as long as I know what I'm doing and I'm sticking to it to some degree, I think it'll work for my purposes. If you are someone who really needs to adhere to time, then you need to make sure to schedule in every single part of your day, including your meals, including, showers, getting ready, sleep, all of those things so that you can feel accomplished. It all really depends on yourself, how you adapt to different strategies, and you know yourself better than anyone in a YouTube video can ever tell you how to do something. So whenever you're reading or you're listening or you're looking at one of these strategies, stick to it as best as you can, but make sure you're adapting it for it to fit you and not the other way around. Especially with ADHD, that is a huge trick. A lot of times we try to fit into a neurotypical mold and it's just not gonna work. So make sure that whatever strategy you're trying to implement is something that makes sense in your life. Now, the most important thing after creating your time-blocked calendar is to actually use it. And to actually use it, it means that you have to have it in a very visible place. One thing that I teach all of my clients is to start hanging things on the wall in front of you. Wherever your office is, wherever you are most likely to need to see this schedule, make sure you have a copy of it there in a place that you can easily see it and reference it. I have a copy for myself in my bedroom so that I can reference it when I wake up, and then I have another copy hanging on the wall right in front of me so that I see it when I'm in my office and I'm working on the day's tasks. Make sure it's visible, whether it's on your phone or on your computer or on a wall. Otherwise, this strategy goes immediately out the window because you will just not stick to it. The last tip that I have for you is in the bottom part of the page where you have a little bit of free space, take the same colors that you used and whatever you assign them to, and write down examples of things that you'd like to achieve in those times if you haven't made a super specific time block. The way that I've made mine is sort of generic so that I don't have to make a new one every single week or every day or anything like that. And so it's going to be really important for me to focus my attention on the tasks within the subtasks, basically within the bigger task. So what I've done here is on each page, I've sort of written like, okay, workout, what do I want to do? I want to do core, I want to do yoga, or I want to do a bike ride. Side hustle, here's some different ideas for things that I could be using that time to work on. Continuing education, business administration, hobby, and so on and so forth. So I'm breaking things down into even smaller pieces so that I can think about what I've done in the previous week and then what needs to be followed up on or what needs to be continued or, what has come up since the last time I worked on that task that is important for me to prioritize. If you have a really specific list, like if your list is, if your time block says you have 20 minutes for returning emails, you might not need to break that down into smaller tasks because returning emails is returning emails. But if you do have something more broad, then you want to give yourself something to focus your attention on. And so that's when these little lists come into play. So that's it for today. I hope that you have found this informative and useful. I would love to hear from you to know how you've time blocked in the past, whether you have or not, whether you've done it the same way as I'm showing you, or if you have a different strategy. I'd love to hear whether you think ChatGPT for scheduling is amazing as I do, because I certainly have done so much more with it since I've learned that ChatGPT has that capability, and it's made time blocking so much easier. Let me know your thoughts, drop me a line in the comments, and I'd love to hear more from you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that if you liked this video, you will like and subscribe and do all the things to help my little channel grow. Thank you so much. Bye.